What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna do something a little bit different today because I wanted to add some more gameplay only content. So hit that like button, hit subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into Warzone Stories Episode 1. Dropping into the pregame lobby, you know I gotta show off a little bit. So I find this guy and absolutely destroy him. That's one down. Then I turn around and I spot this guy on the roof. Easy kill. So I fire a few warning shots, but he doesn't get the message and he shoots back. Obviously, I'm not gonna let him get away with that. So I land right on his roof. Never mind, I mean right on the ground. I toss my stun and my Molotov to try to flush him out. And before I know it, I've clapped another kill. So at this point, the pregame lobby is ending and I've racked up a grand total of 2 kills. Needless to say, I'm already feeling great about the game ahead. Looking for somewhere to drop, I spot this scavenger contract at this little fire station at the far side of the map. It's quiet, discreet, a great place to drop in and get loadout without too much hassle. So I land on the roof, and just as I turn around to enjoy the view, I spot 2 unwanted guests parachuting in to join me. But the good news is, I'm a professional boxer. I slap down the first guy, a friendly Canadian, but the second escapes off the roof. No problem, I grab the scavenger contract to secure it for later, refill my armor, and head off towards the fire station to loot up. Tier 4 PPSH? Perfect. Now, all I have to do is wait him out. Eventually, he pushes up to the opposing roof to try to get an angle on me. But I pop his armor with just a few shots, throw a Molotov to flush him out, and just like that, I've got my second kill. I loot up, finish up my scavenger contract, and head out. An orange chest inside this warehouse pushes me up to $12,000. So now all I have to do is find a buy station to call in my loadout. But, like always, all good things must come to an end. And as I rush in towards zone, I get shot in the back and pinned down. I miss my stun grenade, and with no time to refill my armor, I get gunned down and lose all my weapons as well as my hard-earned cash. As I enter the gulag, my morale is already pretty low, and it gets even lower once I see the weapon I'm supposed to use. But still, I'm not giving up without a fight. I flank right and spot my opponent far on the other side. As I push around to the back, he tries to finesse me with a jump shot, but luckily, my aim is too good. That's 3 kills down, and I'm back in the game. At this point, my loadout has dropped in a far corner of the map, and I spawn directly above it. I parachute down, grab my Krig, and roll out. All I've got are 60 bullets and a dream, but that's all I need. I check this little shed and manage to find a bit of ammo and a decent XM4. Already, my chances are looking up. The plan? Push in towards airport, get up on top of the roof, and try to grab a couple of kills, all while looting along the way. But about halfway to the airport roof, I get interrupted. I spot this guy out for a joyride in his tack rover. He hops out and makes his way inside this little quarry building. Luckily, he hasn't seen me, yet. I figure he's trying to set up a sniper's nest, and if that's the case, if I'm still here out in the open, I'm screwed. But as I rotate around to cover, I notice a second culprit, also an attack rover. He's clearly seen the location of the first guy, and he's hunting him. I have a line of sight, but I'm 150 meters away, and without a sniper, I'm not comfortable taking that shot. I decide to close the distance on foot by running across the open field. It's a risky play, but risky's my middle name. And hopefully they're too distracted with each other to notice me setting up a flank. As I get in close, I pick up 1 on my heartbeat sensor. He's 30 meters away, which puts him exactly in the center of the building. No doubt he's camping the doorways, waiting for someone to make their approach. At this point, I spot this guy creeping around the building with his heartbeat sensor, also trying to get an angle. Luckily, he doesn't know I'm there, so it's an easy kill. As I strafe around to pick at the loot, I spot my first target through this open window. Either he's a dedicated camper or he's AFK, but either way, it's another free kill. I loot my first victim's body and find a custom HDR. Not my weapon of choice, but I want a sniper, so I'll make do. Now with plenty of loot and full armor, I'm feeling pretty good, so I decide to make my push back towards airport. But suddenly, I get shot out of nowhere. A sniper bullet grazes my arm. I don't know where he's shooting from, so I decide to book it back to cover. Luckily for me, he has absolutely no aim, and he only hits me one more time, just barely taking my armor off. Now, at the time of recording this audio, that sniper glint seems pretty obvious, but during the match, I somehow completely missed it. So, instead, I played up and head to the roof to try to find where my enemy is sniping from. I checked the ATC tower as well as the airport roof, somehow again missing the obvious sniper glint coming from the underground parking. Fast forward through some shameless roof camping, when suddenly I'm visited by this guy. I land some shots as he parachutes in, but he doesn't get the message. So I parachute off the roof and finish him off. Knowing there's a sniper somewhere out there, I quickly push to cover to plate up. Now, with my plates full, I push back out to peek the train, expecting someone to be hitching a ride. But instead, I find this other sniper hard-scoping the train. He makes the genius decision to lay prone inside of a bush, so I decide to put him out of his misery. Finally, I push back up to the roof to try to find some more victims. I spot this guy all the way on top of the airport roof, and I spend way too long trying to line up a shot. By the time I finally fire, I miss. Twice. And then I get freaked out at the potential of him having a sniper and shooting back, so I jump off the roof. But as I parachute below, I spot another someone right here. A quick ping from my heartbeat sensor shows me exactly where he is. Unfortunately, this guy makes the foolish mistake of running away in a straight line. I land a few shots, but he disappears around the corner, so I rush to follow him. Being armed only with a Krig and an HDR, I know a close-range gunfight isn't going to end well for me, no matter how hurt my enemy is. So, instead of turning the first corner, I push all the way down to the end of the row of buildings. Another quick ping on my heartbeat, and my 8th target is a confirmed kill. Now, with only 8 people left standing, including myself, the win is in sight. I push the loadout drop and grab my Tundra, a much better choice than the HDR I was stuck with. The new zone is here, and there's only 3 places for cover inside of it. 2 houses and a Bertha. I know that if I'm gonna have any shot at winning this, I need to claim one of those houses. So I push hard left to flank and try to get inside the nearest house. As I reposition, I spot another enemy in the distance. He's taking cover from an assailant, but he doesn't know that I'm behind him. Easy headshot, that's what the Tundra does best. I keep pushing left, but I hesitate. If I push the house now and someone's in there, it's most likely the end of my Warzone journey. Plus, with the final circle closing in, only a small portion of that house is actually in zone. The other thing that's in zone? The Bertha. I make a mad dash for the Bertha, skirting along the outside of the zone. As my destination is in sight, a precision airstrike comes out of nowhere. But luckily, I'm too fast to be caught. As I slide into cover behind the Bertha, I spot an enemy charging across the airport runway, desperately trying to get into zone. He's no match for my Krig, and I make quick work of him, but not before he takes off a few of my armor plates. I played up as another enemy falls. It's now a 1v1. With no plates left in my reserve, I make a mad dash into the gas to grab this dropped armor satchel. The safe zone is moving, and it's in my favor. My enemy's going to have to push towards me if he wants to get into zone. I peek around the side of the Bertha, expecting him to push from inside the house. He does, and I see my last enemy for the first time, Jigsaw himself. The adrenaline is getting to me. I potato my aim, first with a missed sniper shot, and then a flurry of missed shots from my Krig. In a desperate attempt to recover, I hop inside the Bertha and drive it into the zone, escaping the gas. I make a swift turn and charge towards my enemy, but just before I can claim victory, he slides out of the way of my front tire. It's at this point that I make a fatal mistake. Instead of reversing, I get out of the Bertha and try to engage him on foot. I have no cover, and he's already scoped in. He finishes me off and claims the Warzone victory with nothing but a hair of health remaining. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this more gameplay-focused content, please hit that like button and leave a comment down below. Also, please hit that subscribe button. It only takes a second and it really helps me out. Plus, you can always unsubscribe later if you change your mind. But anyways, guys, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.